If one would take Earth and one would see through Earth so that she would be translucent, what one would be able to see would be that the pyramids are all connected.
Yeah.
Within Earth's core, they are all connected in the forms of sacred geometry. What you may be able to see on the surface is only a very small part of the structure within. These are reflectors, these are magnifiers of the energy which is coming from our central sun, which connects to Earth.
Wow.
This is what you need to do. All of you need to visualize creating your pyramids, your tetrahedrons around yourselves.
Wow.
This then becomes part of your light body, which can then interact with Earth, with Gaia, and therefore with the central sun. This is how the lattice work of connections and energy coming from us, from the central sun, will connect all of you. This has everything to do with frequency. The frequencies that we are sending you now are not being well utilized. You need to capture these. Earth structures were put in place for this moment in time. They need to be fully utilized. This is where the power lies. Gaia is utilizing these. She has her structures in place, and you are assisting her, keeping these lines of energy open.
I see.
You must continue to do so. This was done in the ancient times. This was done manually.
Yeah.
This was done very manually. This can now be done by frequency and energy and pure intention of thought, for that is the way to keep Earth's energy lines and her connection between her geometric and sacred geometry connected. But more importantly, you now need to connect to this more and more. You are not doing this.
So we need to visualize this tetrahedron of light around us, and that will help us connect to the Earth's core.
This will help you to connect to Earth's core, to Gaia. So you will connect to her. She is receiving the majority of the energy coming in from the outer sun and the central sun. All the energies pulsing towards her are the frequency which she is absorbing, and she has changed.
In what way has she changed?
She is changing dimensions because she is now open, her vibration is increasing, so she is now visible to those dimensions that cut her off as she was a very low density energy. She is now becoming a beacon to pick the signal up from which she was lost for eons. She was all alone in the dark, and now she has a much stronger connection to the universal force which we are sending her, which connects all galaxies and multiverses and all multi-dimensions way beyond your imagination and what you can with your limited technology see or find. What one needs to understand is when one looks at nothing, something will appear. This is infinity. This is beyond the scope of what is real and what is not. We are constantly creating and recreating and creating and recreating. Nothing ever stops. Energy purely keeps on transitioning from one phase to the next. It is an eternal motion. It is perpetual motion. There is no end to it. There is no death. There is transition, which is what you're doing now. You are transitioning. Earth is now a giant receiver. She is receiving the frequencies. You can tap into these at a far better rate if you can intentionally place your sacred geometry around your physical vessels. You will then become your higher dimension of yourself. Once you do this, you will then be able to receive the frequencies that are coming directly from us to you and the direct transmission, and you will also be able to connect to Earth's receivers. You will all just be then reflecting off one another and back from Earth's core back to the central sun, reciprocating the transmission that we are sending to you, connecting you more and more to the different dimensions, the different levels, the different states of consciousness. There is no limitation. There is no limitation on this evolution. The more you connect with one another, the more you connect with Gaia, this will increase the speed of the transmission. It will increase the power of the transmission. It is essential that you do this, and it is essential that you begin to do this immediately.
Mm-hmm.
This is the linear time in which you need to do this. The more connections, the more, if you can imagine all of you being receivers,
mm-hmm.
this will increase the vibration that connects you all on one level. As Gaia is increasing in her frequency, you are getting left behind. You need to connect with her. She needs your assistance, because now there is a little bit of a difference in the frequencies with which you are resonating.
Mm-hmm.
She is resonating at a higher frequency. You are still lower, so you are pulling her down somewhat.
Yes, we are. Mm-hmm.
You all need to lift your frequency by creating this so that you can reflect back to her what she is reflecting to you. She is reflecting the energies. You need to assist her in grounding these energies into herself so that you become a transmitter and a transceiver for her, and reflect the energy yourself from the central sun back to her so the energy is balanced.
Excellent. I would like to ask 2 questions. First of all, who is speaking?
We are a number. We are a number of beings.
Mm-hmm.
We are what you may call a federation.
I see.
Who control some of the rules and some of the laws that govern Earth's readmittance back into the Federation.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask also, is there a particular place that you come from, or is it so we can visualize to try and connect to you again, or is it...
You want to visualize?
Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter, I don't know.
No, it does not matter. I can try and make a visualization for you. This becomes very difficult. It is easier to do this with one's intention.
Yes.
This is far easier. This is the language we understand.
Yeah.
But as you create your vessel, we shall be able to reach you.
I see, okay.
At will, at whim. We will be able to send you messages. You will be able to receive them far clearer. This is why it is vital that you begin to create your vessel so that the transmission can be instantaneous.
I see. So that's the way that we can communicate with you.
That is correct, and we can communicate whenever there is a message.
Excellent. And when you talk about visualizing this tetrahedron of light, is there a particular color of that light that we should make the tetrahedron, or does it not matter?
This does not matter. This does not matter. This can be according to your preference.
Okay.
The most important thing, you may even make it
rainbow colored.
You may, in fact, do that.
Okay. Excellent.
You will find, when you envision this, on a different dimension, your vision is a reality. Just because you, with your three-dimensional senses, cannot see the geometry, does not mean to say that when you visualize it, it is not there. In fact, you are instantaneously creating in a different dimension something which we can see in your frame of reference. So a visualization is not as you may understand a visualization to be. A visualization is a firm reality in a different dimension from which you exist at this present moment in time. And this is what you are doing when you are visualizing anything. You are creating a reality on a dimension which you cannot see with your dense senses.
Yes.
So you need to develop your other dimensional senses in order to be able to see the creations that you are creating.
Yeah. But I guess we can see it in our mind. That is always...
And that is where you are creating.
Mm-hmm.
And you are creating at such a level that you do not even understand the level of power that you have in this creation. For it is something with which we are finding interesting, that you would easier pick up a rock and put it on another rock, and this would be easier for you to do than to visualize creating your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the simplicity which would make it appear to be too difficult for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. We're a bit of a contradiction. Yeah. And to create this vessel of light, do we need to be in a certain frequency? Do we need to be in meditation? Or can we do it anywhere if we are walking about, or if we're... Is it something that we need to stop and be still to do, or is it something we can create anytime?
You can create this anytime. In fact, this word that you term meditation, there are some limiting factors which you have imposed on this.
Yeah,
meditation can occur at any point and any time. It can occur when you are preparing your food. It can occur when you are in your abode. It can occur at any point in time. In fact, it is vital that you start to develop these techniques which you term meditation to become your normal state of existence.
I see.
So do not worry, do not pay attention to the three-dimensional reality in which you are used to existing. You do not reside in this dimensional reality. It is but an illusion. If you begin to see this as an illusion and begin to see that you are existing in a different dimension, you will not need to worry yourselves about the illusion that is surrounding you. You can become then the creator of everything. And if you are existing finally in a constant state of what you would term meditation, you will exist in a different dimension altogether. And you will completely then be able to choose if and when you would like to return into the third dimension for specific reasons.
I'm wondering how can we manifest in the third dimension if we manage to be in that state pretty much constantly. Does it mean that we can also create things in our third dimension?
Yes, this is when it will become a lot of fun.
Yes.
And this is the time that we are very excited to be watching from here. We create things in line with the natural order. There is a certain pattern. What we are hopeful to see, what we are excited to see, as it is already done, but the way in which you will find yourselves in the role of creator as a new experience. We are used to this and we are not aware of what it could be. As we have always done this, it is not something that we ever did not know how to do. We are watching you learn to do this, and we are experiencing the joy and the excitement that you are experiencing at the same time as you are realizing how powerful creators you are. So yes, if you are in the state of what you term meditation, although it is slightly erroneous. It is simply an intention to exist on a different plane of existence. You do not need to go anywhere. You do not need to do any special ritual. You just need to put an intention to be there. Then you will start to see that the three-dimensional reality, even the fifth-dimensional reality, becomes a playground for manifestation, and you start to see that very much you can create anything that you would like. The beauty about this is that resonating from the heart frequency is the only way that you can pass into the different dimensions, into the role of creator, and so you will be automatically aligned with the patterns of the universe. So anything that you will be creating will be in line with what is existing, which is what you cannot see. It is only what you have created down there that does not fit into this alignment, and you will see how much fun it is to create, and you will be able to create instantaneously from this elevated dimension. You will be able to see the true nature of the hologram, and this is even in the higher dimensions than what you are used to being in. You can create more easily in the higher dimension as Earth shifts and as you shift. This will be what you would term a beautiful experience.
For sure. When I was talking with Lisa earlier, we came to this point that it might be useful for humanity to unify their visualization so we can all visualize the same thing. Do you think this has any importance?
This is of vital importance. This is of vital importance. You are in the crux in your linear timeline of elevating very quickly into the new dimension as a collective, and to assist your planet. You need to assist Gaia, and you need to connect in order to do so. If you can imagine, if you are not connected, I am trying to find something for you to visualize. As you see now, the rest of your Earth, the systems that are collapsing, this is ending your period of collective visualization of one version of the hologram. As this is collapsing, you need to be the strongest voice of collaboration. As a collaboration, you are able to form more easily a new hologram.
Yes.
If you do not, there may be elements within the chaos of the collapsing hologram who may join together to create a different linear timeline. So it is vital that you do this as a collaborative effort. It is possible, but harder to do this on an individual basis.
It is.
You are being called, as you are upgrading and resonating from the heart frequency, you are already in alignment with one another. You are already in alignment with the new version of the new reality which exists in a different dimension. You cannot be here if you resonate at a lower frequency. However, if there are powerful dimensions within the lower frequencies, it is possible to create different linear timelines. So it is vital, even though you are resonating at a higher frequency, it is vital to have this collaboration to form a new reality, so that it becomes one version of the reality. Otherwise, we will begin to have different timelines, some of which will not have the same outcome as the path that Earth is on now.
I see. This is just a question that came to me now, but are we creating this collapse of our society, or is it just a necessary step for Earth to, or is it because Earth is raising its own frequency that the collapse is happening, or is it because humans have manifested this collapse?
This is an interesting question. It is a little bit of both. I shall try to explain it to you. Earth has repeated this cycle a number of times in your linear time. In effect, they are all actually happening together. So, in your linear time, this is a cycle that is repetitive.
Yes.
We are not sure why, but for a number of reasons which cannot be fully explained at this point in time, for that is information for a different time, linear time, and it is not of importance right now. But your planet is redoing a pattern which has been repeated.
Yes.
This was a different way. It is according to those that you were speaking with earlier. It is not. How would one put this into? It is not possible to have saved. This is a bad word. You understand. Earth. This is the timeline that Earth, the linear timeline that Earth was headed down, was to be a repetition of what had happened in her linear past. This was a bit boring for us, so we have tried something new, of which you are all remembering that you were a part of.
Yeah.
We find this time most exciting for you to be experiencing this remembrance at the same time. It is very exciting. We are all watching you. We are all applauding you because this is working. This is working. We did not have. We did, but we know the linear outcomes of this. But this, in your perception of time and space, is exciting, and we are most pleased to be a part of assisting you, us, for you are us with this. So this is happening at the same time. We are assisting, the central sun is assisting Earth with providing her with a higher vibrational frequency with which she can now start to accept as she is increasing her frequency. This is all happening at the same time as her frequency is increasing. So the dimension with which you are living is collapsing as it no longer is in alignment with this frequency. It is a denser energy. Now, we could have done what we did before and send very, very powerful frequencies to Earth, and everything shifts and changes very quickly, and majority of life forms must revert back to the beginning of your linear time of reference. This is now being done on your linear timeline much slower way than we did this before. This is allowing the time for Earth to, as you would put it, evolve. So these energies are being expedited at the moment, but it is not as it was in the cycles before this, where it was destroying completely any type of life form back to the original form of life, which then repeated the pattern all over again. We have done this, so this is a new way of doing it, and it's far more exciting for us right now to be witnessing and experiencing this evolution of Earth instead of rewinding and starting again as we have done this before. So to answer your question, both is happening simultaneously. It is happening simultaneously. We are assisting from here. Gaia is assisting, but now we do need a little assistance from you to start reflecting the transmissions back through Gaia, back to the central sun, to the central earth, to increase as a whole and to expedite the increase in the frequency with which you and your Gaia exist in unity